lose some. Yan po ang kadalasang tema ng palakasan. Hindi lamang po sa mga resulta ng mga laro, kundi sa paghahanap ng mga sports heroes. At yan din po ang magiging tema ng ating usapan ngayong Sabado ng umaga sa inyong paboritong kasama. Ito po ang Power and Play. Eh di paano? Bango na! Power and Play na! Magandang umaga po mga kapatid. Muli po nagbabalik ang Power and Play. Hatid sa inyo ng Cherry Loom. Ang yerong may aluminum and of course ng Cherry Tigo 7 Pro. It's fun to drive. Ako po si Noli Eala. And again, we'd like to say hello to all of our viewers and listeners sa 1PH on Signal TV. Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat, lalong-lalo na ang ating mga tagapakinig sa Batangas, sa lalawigan ng Batangas at ng Quezon. Diyan po sa Candelaria, Quezon, sa Tiaong, and of course, sa Lucena City. Magandang umaga din po sa lahat ng ating mga nakikinig sa Radyo 5, 92.3 News FM, yung mga bumabiyahe ngayon na patungo sa kanilang mga probinsya dahil medyo nagluwag na tayo. And of course, sa lahat po na nakatutok worldwide sa pamamagitan ng ating Facebook Live streaming sa 1PH, sa Radyo 5, and of course sa Power and Play. Sabi ko nga, alert level 2 na tayo mga kapatid. Naku, napakagandang balita niya na hindi lamang po para sa ekonomiya, hindi lamang po sa ating mga pamilya, sa turismo ng ating bansa, kung hindi para sa palakasan. Balik na po ang contact sports. Pero ingat-ingat lang po. Sabi nga natin sa isa nating nailabas na tweet, alam niyo po, bagamat meron na tayong kalayaang gumalaw, patuloy po tayo dapat maging vigilant. Hindi po to ibig sabihin meron na tayong kalayaang mang-abuso ng ating pagkakataong makalabas. Tandaan natin, hindi pa po tayo tuluyang nakakalampas sa banta nitong COVID-19 virus. Pero dahan-dahan na po nating nabibigyan ng solusyon. Kaya po, mag-iingat pa rin po tayo. Let's not take our freedoms lightly. Sayang, baka bumalik pa tayo uli doon. But enjoy the moment. Hanggang November 21, ayon sa IATF, ay pwede na ang contact sports. So pwede na po ang paglalaro ng basketball, ng volleyball, ng soccer, lalong-lalo na sa outdoors, yung mga mahihilig dyan. Hanggang November 21 ang ating taning. Kaya po, ingat-ingat lang, although patuloy po na meron pang mga restrictions in terms of actual live audiences, at dapat meron pa hintulot ng LGU. So again, antabayan na natin ang lahat ng mga kaganapan, especially sa PBA na ngayon ay nagpaplano na bumalik sometime at the end of the month. And again, it will all depend on what happens sa mga patakaran ng pamahalaan. Sabi ko kanina, ang ating tema, winning some and losing some. Well, ang malaki pong balita of course this week ay yung nangyari kay Yuka Saso, kung saan siya po ay nagdesisyon na imbis na maging Pilipino ay maging isang Japanese citizen. At yan po ay pag-uusapan natin mamaya kasama mismo ng Secretary General ng National Golf Association of the Philippines, Mr. Bones Floro, at ang Pangulo ng Philippine Olympic Committee, si Congressman Abraham Bambol Tolentino. Napakaganda ng mga sinabi nila sa ating panayam sa kanilang kagabi. So, antabayanan niyo po yan again, yung Yuka Saso decision. That's maybe losing some, winning some. Makakausap din natin mamaya naman ang ating Philippine tennis teen sensation, si Alex Eala, in an exclusive interview with Power and Play. Ano ba nangyayari kay Alex? Lately, she has not played and she will reveal her status as well as her plans and of course yung assessment niya sa nakaraang taon. Plus, makakausap po natin ang kapapanalo pa lamang. Medyo mainit-init pa to, wala pang isang linggo na WBC Intercontinental, or rather WBO Intercontinental Bantamweight Champion, si Jonas Sultan. Mamaya po yan makakasama natin lahat sila at pag-uusapan natin yung winning some and losing some. Pero syempre, sa pagsisimula ng Power and Play, himayin mo natin ang mga buod ng mga headlines sa pamamagitan ng ating Sports Weekly Highlights. Miss niyo na ba ang import-laden conference sa PBA? Nagbabalik na ang PBA Governors Cup na inaasahang magsisimula sa katapusan ng buwan. May height limit na 6'6" ang mga reinforcement na mixture ng mga newcomers at comebacking players. Umaasa si Commissioner Willie Marshall na payagan na rin ang live audience sa Governors Cup. Sana naman, lalo't patuloy na nagluluwag ang restrictions sa Metro Manila. Napag-usapan nga ang nalalapit na Governors Cup, blockbuster ang listahan ng mga paparating na imports. Pinakamalaking pangalan nga po dyan si dating Minnesota Timberwolves na si Shabazz Mohammed. Kinuha ng Meralco Bulls ang services ng NBA veteran dahil hindi available ang kanilang first choice na si Allen Durham. 14th overall pick sa 2013 NBA draft si Mohammed na naglaro ng 5 season sa NBA. Legit NBA po yan mga kapatid More PBA updates. Magbubukas na rin po ang pilot conference ng PBA 3x3. Wala pang final date ng opening games pero tila mauuna ito kaysa sa Governors Cup. 13 koponan ang magbabakbakan kasama ang 3 guest teams, ang Pioneer Pro Tibay, Platinum Karaoke at Zamboanga Valientes MLV. Swing na tayo sa baseball. Back on top at nakuha ng Atlanta Braves ang una nilang World Series sa loob ng 26 na taon. Kasunod yan ng commanding 7-0 win ng Braves kontra Houston Astros sa Game 6. Maagang nagbangko ng lamang ang Braves sa likod ng 3-run homer ni Jorge Soler sa 3rd inning. Tuluyang kumawala sa 5th inning ang Braves na nagpamalas ng batting prowess para itulak ang lead to 6-0. Ang final score na 7-0 ay ang largest margin of victory sa World Series clincher mula 1985. Balungkot na balita naman po para sa Philippine sports. Kagaya ng nabanggit ko kanina, pinili ng golf athlete na si Yuka Saso na maging Japanese citizen. Sa ilalim kasi ng batas ng Japan, ang mga dual citizens ay dapat mamili ng nationality kapag sila ay 22 years old na. Pilipinas ang nirepresente o nirepresenta ng 20 anyos sa iba't ibang mga international tournaments kasama ang Asian Games at Tokyo Olympics. Kahit nalilipat na sa Japan, nasa puso pa rin daw ni Saso ang Pilipinas. At balik po tayo sa basketball. Pumirma na ang PBA para maging pioneer member ng East Asia Super League. Makakatapat ng PBA teams ang iba't ibang clubs mula China, South Korea, Japan at Taiwan sa unang full season ng EASL. 2 PBA teams ang sasabak sa home and away games na kukuhanin sa top 4 teams ng liga. At good news pa sa ating mga sports fans. Pinayagan na ang indoor contact sports dito sa Metro Manila. Kasabay po yan ng pagbaba ng restrictions sa Alert Level 2. Nagsimula po yan kahapon at tatagal hanggang November 21. At yan po ang buod ng ating mga sports weekly highlights. Naku, yan ang sinasabi ko sa inyo Ingat-ingat lang Naku, ang sarap sigurong muling lumabas at maglaro, makilaro sa ating mga kaibigan, sa ating mga kapitbahay, sa ating mga kaklase. Pati mga bata, ngayon ay pinapayagan na lumabas. Pero again, ingat-ingat pa rin po tayo. Hugas ng kamay. Kung meron tayong nararamdaman, umiwas na po tayo dahil mahirap na muling lumobo ang mga numero ng COVID-19. Alright, tuloy-tuloy po tayo sa Power and Play this morning. And of course, ipapasok na natin ngayon ang isa sa ating paboritong segment dito po sa show. Walang iba kundi ang ating paboritong Fast Take. Alright, bago natin ipasok, nakakalimutan ko lang isingit kasi baka magtampo yung mga nag-aabang nito ha. Yung nag-aabang sa atin ng ating pinupulsuhan tuwing Sabado ng umaga. Alright. So pulsuhan muna natin ang ating mga manonood at mga nakikinig sa ating Pulso ng Bayan. Ang ating pupulsuhan ay tungkol po sa larong basketball. Alam naman natin at napabalita na nga na magsisimula na po ang import-laden conference ng PBA. So simple lang ang ating pupulsuhan ngayong araw na to, lalong-lalo na doon sa mga talagang matagal nang sumusunod sa PBA. Sino sa tingin ninyo ang greatest PBA import of all time? Naku, ang dami niyan. Sino po sa tingin ninyo ang pinakamagaling na PBA import sa kasaysayan ng liga? Ako lumalaki ang unang-una kong naalala sapagkat napanood ko siya opening game ng PBA back in 1975 at namangha ako talaga. Kumbaga napanganga at hindi ako nakakita pa ng ganong klase. Yung pong si Dan Knight. Ang tagal na nung player na yun na Dan Knight ang pangalan niya. Nag-reverse siya at dinakdak niya. That is one of my earliest memories of the PBA. And of course, napakarami na pong mga import na dumaan dyan. Nandyan yung Crispa na si Cyrus Man, si Snake Jones ng Toyota, Bruce King, si Larry McNeil ng Gilbis Gin, si Larry Pounds ng Royal True Orange, si Michael Hackett, David Thirdkill, Lamont Struthers. Napakarami po yan. And of course, yung mga paborito nating Norman Black, Sean Chambers, Bobby Parks, Tony Harris, at yung mga recent na mga imports na pumasok po sa PBA. Sino sa tingin nyo ang greatest PBA import of all time? Mag-text lamang sa ating number 0908-208-0629 o di kaya mag-comment sa ating Facebook page ng Power and Play o ng Radyo 5 at ng 1PH. Mamaya po babasahin natin yung inyong mga komentaryo. Alright, ngayon ipasok na natin ang Fast Take hatid sa inyo ng Cherry Tigo. At ngayong araw pong ito, makakasama natin ang ating mga kaibigan, mga balik Fast Takers to, mula sa Spin.ph, si Kate Reyes, at mula sa Inquirer.net, si Denison Ray Dalupang. Magandang umaga, Kate and Denison. Good to have you back on the show.
Good morning po.
Good morning, Kom.
Good morning, Kom. Good morning, Kuya.
Yun, talagang Sprite. Magandang araw ngayon dahil alert level 2 na tayo. No? So, gusto ko na nga mag-basketball mamaya, Denison. Wala na ako makakalaban dahil walang gusto lumaban sa akin. Talagang...
Same yung Kom.
Same lang. Alright.
Solo.
Before we go to the yung ating mga fast take issue dito, no? Kate, let me ask you, itong pagpasok ng PBA sa ESL, how good of a development is this para sa, hindi lang para sa PBA, kundi para sa mga players natin? Alam naman natin, karamihan sa kanila, kating-kating maglaro abroad or at least interesado. No? So, how symbolic and how significant is this development para sa PBA and the teams in the PBA?
Ako, sobrang okay yan kasi makakatulong sa experience nila and ang ganda rin kasi ng roster ng fans ngayon ng TNT ngayon. So I feel like it's gonna help them a lot to build something sa team pa which they can use in the future pa.
Well, obviously, ang TNT is one of those that will have a good shot at playing in the EASL, although sinasabi nga ni Chairman Vargas ay maaaring bunutan ito to see who will play yung dalawang koponan na lalaro sa EASL. And certainly, it's a welcome development na finally pumayag ang PBA board na maglaro din sa East Asia Super League. Denison, there was a recent trade between Vic Manuel and Sean Anthony, and that seems to be a trade that will fit both teams. Sino sa tingin mo ang medyo nagkaroon ng konting advantage dyan sa trade na yan?
For me, I think Phoenix Super LPG got the better draw. Considering yung nga po si Sean, it's like having another Calvin back in the fold. We know naman how multifaceted yung game ni Sean and albeit medyo forgive for saying but mas refined na version ni Calvin. Less antics, and having known Sean, yung work ethic din niya, yung professionalism niya, lahat yan taking all of the boxes. Eh. So I would say na healthy, kung healthy si Sean Anthony, they're definitely getting the better of this. Pero on paper, with Sean, and yun nga po, going back, considering how do it all in laro niya, I think they got a better draw of the day. And then you're getting another Sean din na we mentioned, he was relegated, Sean Manganti, he was relegated to the TXT squad.
Oo, tama. Oo.
So I'm looking forward to the guy trying to unleash himself once again, especially
Oo.
after not having to play. So yun po.
Well, ang isa pang sinasabi nila daw, malapit na malapit daw ito si Sean Anthony kay Matthew Wright. So that will really help the team. Pero ang magandang sinabi mo dyan is if he's healthy. Right now, of course, Sean Anthony has been nursing an injury. Hopefully, he can come back sa Governor's Cup. And of course, si Vic Manuel is always a good addition to any team, no? And obviously, Northport with their toughness. And of course, nandyan pa si Greg Slaughter. It will be very interesting yung tandem na yan. Kung gaano kabigat yan, no? And how well they can play together. Well, alright, pinag-uusapan natin ang mga issue. Simulan na natin dito sa Fast Take kung saan ang opinion nyo ang mahalaga. And of course, walang tama, walang mali, bato-bato sa langit, tamaan, huwag magagalit. Ang una nating issue of the morning tungkol sa big issue of the week. Lumabas nga yung desisyon ni Yuka Saso that she is beginning the process to acquire Japanese citizenship na under Japan law, kailangan niyang gawin at hindi pwede ang dual citizenship. So, ang tanong, and I'll begin with you, Kate, nakakagulat ba na pinili ni Yuka ang Japan kaysa sa kanyang bansang kung saan siya pinanganak, ang Pilipinas? I'll give you 1 minute, Kate. Go!
For me, definitely not. Hindi naman siya nakagulat and we saw it coming, I think. The reason behind Yuka's decision is very personal and long-term. Golf is expensive. It's $1 million sport and the abundance of investments that will come her way if she chooses to play for Japan would be very helpful for her career. And as she turns pro, the sport is her life's work. It's her profession. So for the long and also for the longest time, he's brought the Philippines glory. So it's high time to return the favor to Yuka as she decides the good. As she decides for her own good. And still and all, hindi naman matatanggal sa personality, sa buhay ni Yuka, yung pagiging isang Pinoy.
Well, maganda yung sinabi mo na talagang hindi maitatanggi yan. Kahit anong sabihin niya, hindi niya masasabing hindi siya Pilipino kasi ang nanay niya ay Pilipina and of course, pinanganak siya dito. Alam mo, meron ako mga naririnig talaga daw napakahirap. At yung puntong-punto lang ni Yuka bulakangin niyang bulakangin niya sa totoo lang. Pag narinig mo si Yuka. Denison, same issue. Nakakagulat ba na pinili ni Yuka Saso ang Japan kaysa sa Pilipinas? 1 minute, Denison, go!
Kung i-invoke ko dito si Joshua Perez, yes and no. Yes, because sa sports fan, nakakagulo siya kasi of course, representing yung Philippines Olympics, sa Asian Games and all that. And then at the same time, no, because ayun nga po, yung heritage ni Yuka, half of her is very Japanese. Very kung gano'n ka Pilipino, gano'n din siya ka Japanese because his dad is a Japanese national. So, ayun nga po, as Kate mentioned, it's a decision mo. Multi-billion-dollar industry ang golf and And considering yung power that nandun sa Japanese passport, I think hindi naman na dapat masyadong nakakagulat considering yung power ng Japanese passport, yung privilege that comes with it.
Exactly, yung ease of travel and of course all of the perks that come as a Japanese pro. Isang kwento nga sa Japan, si Hideki Matsuyama, isang Japanese pro na nanalo ng US Masters, parang hari. Para daw isang hari kung tratuhin sa Japan. He doesn't have to pay anything pag kumakain siya and he walks around with all the adulation and admiration. You know, hindi natin maiaalis siya na. Pero alam mo, ang magandang nakita ko today, and Yuka is playing in the Toto Japan Classic sa JLPGA right now. She's running 16th. Nakita ko maganda na ginagawa ninyo, mga nasa media. You continue to put Filipino-Japanese ace. And I think forever, hindi na maaalis yan eh. Kahit ano pang sabihin niyang Japanese citizen siya, we will forever claim her to be one of us. And yan ang aking masasabi lang dyan because she is truly a Filipino by heart. Alright, let's go to our second issue of the morning. Ito ang tanong PBA tayo. Ang nagbabalikan at ang dami na uli ng mga imports na nakakatuwa, no? I mean, hindi mo akalain that makikita mo uli sila a few months ago kung saan napakataas ng kaso, ang hirap ng quarantine protocols, tila hindi na mabibigyan ng solusyon dahil pataas ng pataas pa rin. But here they are, the imports are back and we have a terrific bunch of imports. So ang tanong, Denison, I'll begin with you. Sino ang top 3 imports mo sa darating na Governor's Cup? Base na rin sa talent, age, and maybe fit. 1 minute, Denison. Go!
Com definitely on the top of that list. Mahirap eh. Justin Brownlee yata. Justin Brownlee should absolutely be high up there. Alan Durham would have been a toss-up considering his time with Meralco, pero wala nga po siyang business really. But yun nga po, Justin is way up there simply because he has played for Inembra, he has delivered championships for Inembra. Close number 2, 3 would be siguro the TNT and the NLEX imports simply because meron na silang exposure to yun nga po si Mackenzie Moore has played for TNT. He's coming back for a second stint. Technically, he has played for the club dun sa Terrific Duel back then. And si KJ McDaniels, familiarity with TNT na rin po. And best siya sa TNT, so I am assuming of the same sa NLEX.
All right. Well, you know what's very interesting is si Justin Brownlee lang yata ang kaisa-isang import na nagbabalik to his former team, no? Everyone else is outside of their, parang nagkaroon ng reshuffling. All right, Kate, same issue. Sino sa tingin mo ang top 3 imports sa darating ng Governor's Cup based on fit, on age, and talent? 1 minute, Kate. Go!
Katulad ng sinabi ni Kuya Son, in terms of fit, it's Justin Brownlee for sure. He is a proven winner already and has learned Coach Tim Cohn's system better than some of the locals. And from 2016, it's without a doubt that he can deliver for Ginebra. And in terms of talent, it's KJ McDaniels of NLEX and Shabazz Muhammad of Meralco. Both are NBA caliber players. Muhammad played 5 seasons, sabi nga po kanina, and then his recent stint in China is also quite impressive. Meanwhile, si KJ has long been eyed by Coach Yang, and he led TNT to the semis of the 2019 Governors. And like what he said, sinabi ni Coach Yang na familiarity with the pace of the league is also gonna be helpful for the imports. Pretty sure both of them can provide the much needed offensive jolt the MVP teams need to compete this coming season.
Excellent point. Alam mo, yung si Shabazz Muhammad is a legit NBA star and alam naman natin in fact, I remember choosing him in the fantasy league for so many years. Yung si Shabazz Muhammad. So alam ko yung pangalan na yan. Of course, you guys had this... Ano?
8 points yata yung average niya sa NBA in his last season.
Exactly. Kaya although lately he's had some injury problems, so ang tanong again is fitness and yung
Yeah.
rigor, alam naman natin ang rigors ng PBA import. Hindi ka pwedeng hindi lalaro ng depensa. So again, that's going to be a question. I'm also very interested, of course, with Mike Harris ng Magnolia and Henry Walker ng Rain or Shine. I think these are two players that sanay na sa PBA. They have proven themselves in the past, and I think they will be a good fit also to their teams. All right, let's go to our third and final take of the morning. Ito tungkol naman sa basketball pa rin, pero hindi tungkol sa laro, hindi tungkol sa tao, kung hindi tungkol sa bola. Alam naman natin ng NBA ay nagpalit ng bola ng kanilang manufacturer at yung ginagamit na bola. At maraming player ay nagbibigay ng komentaryo. Merong pabor, merong hindi pabor. So ang tanong, valid na dahilan ba na ang pagpapalit ng brand ng bola sa NBA ang dahilan ng shooting slump ng ilang players? I will begin with you, Kate. You have 1 minute. Go!
It takes time for players to adjust sa bagong bola for sure. Example dyan ay yung players who shift from 5-on-5 game to 5-on-5 game na full grain leather ang gamit na bola, whether Spalding or Molten, to a 3x3 rubber ball ng Wilson ang gamit. Great shooters and great players always find a way to get through adversities, and this is one of them. But still, it's still early to call it a shooting slump, and it's better to look at it as a growing pains. As professionals, they have no other choice but to adjust to the touch and the feel ng bola. And after a few games, these players can find a way to fit once they're comfortable with it. So, ang bottom line, kailangan nilang mag-adjust talaga.
Wala silang magagawa dyan, kumbaga.
First game, yun.
Oh, correct. Very good. Well, ewan ko, I've played the game and there is a certain factor in terms of yung tinatawag natin sa Pilipino na kamay. Yung gamay mo yung bola, no, na merong grip, iba-iba. I remember my time back in when I was commissioner, first time na ginamit ng PBA yung tri-colored ball na ginagamit ngayon ng Molten, no? That was the first time that we ever did that. And talagang nanibago din ang mga manlalaro. Alright, Denison is back. Same issue, Denison. Valid ba na dahilan ang pagpapalit ng brand ng bola sa NBA sa dahilang mababa ang shooting averages ng ilang players? 1 minute, Denison. Go!
I think valid naman siya, pero just for a while. And then, as Kate mentioned, players go through certain adversities na po, and the ball is parang part of it. Nakikita ko po dyan is, you can look at it in the context of the new rules din po, especially yung adjustment po na pinagdadaanan ng mga players with the new calls. Si James is having a hard time being denied of those calls dun sa pag ng kanyang arms, and then so it's a more physical game na big players find a way any time of the day come, and you know that din po being the previous commissioner of the PBA, so players will figure it out. And
Uy, naputol si Denison. Sayang at nawala siya. But he was saying that talagang kailangan ding mag-adjust. And
Tama.
basically, I don't think it's only yung bola kaya ang bumababa ang shooting sa NBA. I think it's also partly the new rules, yung tinatawag nilang freedom of movement, and of course yung hindi na lang tinatawagan yung unusual basketball moves, no? So I think that is part of it, but at the end of the day, shooters are shooters. Kahit anong bola yan, mangyayari yan. And of course, sabi nga nila, bilog lagi ang bula. Alright. Maraming salamat sa inyong dalawa, Kate and Denison, for joining us this morning. As usual, very fun, informative, and entertaining segment with you. Okay, magkasawa. See you again sa Fast.
Thank you so much, Kom. Have a great day.
Mga kaibigan, Kate Reyes ng Spin.ph at Denison Ray Dalupang ng Inquirer.com. Alright, .net. Alright, mga kaibigan, napakaganda nung huntahan na yan. And of course, ito yung mga talagang nakakarinig ng mga interaction with the players. Sila ang nakakaalam kung ano ang
have some fun on your first driving lesson.
Ay babalik po ang Power and Play hatid sa inyo ng Cherry Loom, ang Yerome Aluminum at ng Cherry Tigo 7 Pro. It's fun to drive. And right now, mga kapatid, ang ating pong susunod na makakapanayam ay kakapanalo pa lamang sa isang napakahirap na laban kung saan tinalo po niya ang isang undefeated Puerto Rican rising star. At siya po ngayon ang WBO Intercontinental Bantamweight Champion. At siya po ay walang iba kundi taga Zamboanga del Norte, ang ating kampiyon na si Jonas Sultan, live from LA. Magandang umaga o magandang hapon sa inyo dyan, Jonas.
Morning. Good morning po sa inyo, sir.
Nako, mukhang ang ganda ng shades mo, Jonas, ha?
Oo, kasi may tinatakpan lang tayong ano po.
Oo, alam natin yan. Unang-una, congratulations. Maraming salamat sa iyong pagpapaunlak sa amin this morning. And of course, congratulations sa napakaganda mong panalo laban kay Carlos Caraballo. Medyo kamusta ka? 1 week after, almost a week after the victory, kamusta ang mga bukol? Kamusta pa mo? Di ba nagkaroon ka ng konting, may iniinda ka ng konti doon, Jonas?
Yes po. Konti lang, kontang struggle sa laban ko. Pero okay naman. At una-una po, nais ko pong pasalamat po sa mga supporters natin dyan sa Pilipinas, dito sa US, sa LA. Especially po sa Navarro family, Sir Johnny Navarro, Ma'am Cory Navarro, then kay Sir Michael Venezuela, Coach Jobin at saka Jerwin Ancahas.
Of course, ang ating kampiyon na si Jerwin, si Coach Hoben, and of course ang aking kaibigan at kumpare na si Junie Navarro. Alam mo, yung laban mo, Jonas, against Carlos Caraballo, heavy underdog ka. 5-1 underdog. Yung crowd doon ay karamihan ay mga Puerto Rican. Of course, ito ay isang rising knockout artist na hindi pa natatalo bago sa laban mo. Ano ang nagbigay sa iyo ng kumpiyansa para doon sa laban na yon, Jonas?
Para sa akin po, yung kumpiyansa ko po na grabe yung training ko para sa laban na yun. At saka yung motivation po na binigay po sa akin ni Coach Joben, ni Jerwin Ancahas, na malaki pong tulong ang binigay nila sa akin para po sa laban na yun. At ayun po, nakita naman natin nagtagumpay tayo sa laban.
Yung pagtitraining mo kay Jerwin, kasama ni Jerwin Ancahas, ano ang naituro sa iyo nun, Jonas? At gaano ka-significant, gaano kahalaga yun para sa iyo na ang kasama mo ay isang world champion ng boxing, si Jerwin Ancahas?
Yes po, sobrang napakalaking tulong po sa akin yun si Jerwin Ancahas at saka Coach Joben, kasi tinuturuan po nila ko ng techniques paano po maglaban ng kalaban na mga kalawite. Siyempre si Jerwin po isang kalawite. So binigyan niya ako ng tips kung paano i-handle yung footwork, kung saan ako susuntok, lalabas, yung mga quick punches na binigay niya sa akin, ng mga tips. Nagawa ko naman doon sa laban. So sobrang thankful ako sa Team Angkas at kay Coach Joben. Yan po.
Alam natin na si Caraballo ay 14-0 nung lumaban sa iyo, Jonas, no? At lahat ng kanya nakalaban natulog, knockout, 14 knockouts, 14 fights. Hindi siya tumatagal na mahigit 6 na rounds sa isang laban at talagang kapipirma lamang niya sa top rank, siyang kumbaga inililinya na para lumaban sa isang world championship. Pero ang tanong ko, totoo lahat ba ang sinasabi nila tungkol kay Caraballo? Malakas pa talaga ang suntok?
Siyempre po, wala pong duda doon na malakas talaga siya. At saka kita ko naman sa mga laban niya, mga nakaraan mga laban niya. Sobrang napakagaling niya, malakas siya. Yung ano niya, yung galing niya talagang andon. So, yung kailang nanalo tayo doon is ang yung gutom tayo na manalo kasi may motivation tayo sa pamilya at sa yung mga kasama natin sa training sila sir, ang Bones family, si Coach Joben at si Jerwin Angkas, lalo na siya yung nagpapalakas sa akin at saka gustong manalo.
Nung laban, Jonas, kailan mo naramdaman ang lakas nitong si Caraballo? Kahit kailan ba nasaktan ka o na-trouble ka?
Opo, may time po na nasaktan tayo pero kiri naman yung lakas niya. Kasi alam ko naman i-handle yung lakas kung matamaan tayo. Pero talagang sa lakas lang, meron talaga isang lakas. Kung ibang boxer yun, talagang mapapatumba niya.
Oo, alam naman natin sa karir mo, ikaw hindi ka pa na-knockout kahit kailan sa iyong karir. Napakatibay ng iyong panga. Ewan ko, kung kinakain mo, puro mais talaga. Kumakain ka pa ng bulalo, kaya napakalakas ng panga mo. Pero nung nilabanan mo si Caraballo, Jonas, ano ang nakita mo kahinaan niya? Of course, may game plan kayo dyan na laban kay Caraballo. Pero nung lumalaban ka na, anong nakita mong medyo meron tong problema pala sa ganitong klaseng estilo?
Para sa akin, nakikita ko na medyo masasaktan talaga siya hindi siya sanay na masaktan pagdating sa laban kasi magaling siya umilag, magaling siya umiwas sa mga suntok. Kaya at saka yung depensa niya talagang mahigpit. Kaya nasabi ko siguro pag natamaan ko to, makukuha ko yung knockout kasi knockdown. Talagang nakita ko na parang hindi pa siya nasaktan sa lahat ng mga laban niya kasi lahat ng mga laban niya is knockout lahat. So, yun, ang plano ko matamaan ko siya ng malakas. So, yun, natamaan natin at na-prove natin na may kinansyan kundi sa kanyang panga. Yeah.
Alright. Bagamat 4 na beses mo napatumba itong si Caraballo, napakadikit ng laban, ng scorecard at least. At nung 9th round, merong binulong sa iyo si Coach Joben na sabi niya sa iyo, gawin mo to para sa iyong mga anak. Gaano kahalaga yung bulong na yon para sa iyo, para talagang mabigyan ka ng sinatawag nating second win o final win mo dyan sa laban na yan?
Para sa akin po, sobrang napakahalaga yung ginawa ni Coach sa akin. Talagang pinakita niya sa akin na gusto niya rin manalo ako. So yun, parang nabuhayan ako palagi every round kahit na napagod na ako, kahit may iniinda ako sa paa ko. Talagang nakita ko kay Coach na gusto niya manalo ako. So yun, talagang puso na yung nagbigay sa atin ng lakas.
Tama. Alright. Nabanggit ko na ang unanimous decision victory mo ay lahat ng scorecard 94-93. Isa lamang na puntos ang lamang mo kay Caraballo, bagamat 4 na beses mong napatumba siya. At hindi ka naman niya na-domina. In fact, ikaw ang domina kay doon sa Puerto Rican. Sa tingin mo ba patas yung scoring? Jonas?
Para sa akin po, hindi na po ako tumitingin ng kung patas ba yun. At least, ang importante naman manalo tayo sa laban kasi siyempre si Caraballo magaling naman talaga sa scoring at saka talagang pinagpala tayo ng Panginoon na maka knockdown tayo ng 4 na beses. So, yun po yung napapapanalo sa atin yung 4 na knockdown. Kasi alam naman natin na si Caraballo talagang napakagaling. Sa putusan, ang galaw niya, sa ibabaw na rin lahat, parang alam niya. Yan po.
Marami kasi nagsasabi na sinira mo daw ang plano ng Top Rank. Kaya talagang idinikit pa at talagang kung po pwede lang ipanalo nila pero mukhang napaka-obvious na hindi mangyayari eh. 4 na beses mo nga napatumba eh. Sa tingin mo ba merong planong ganon na kung pwede lang ipapanalo itong Caraballo?
Parang may gano'n na nga. Siguro kung 3 beses lang yun na tumba siguro hindi natin alam tabla or talo tayo sir.
Oo, pambihira din naman yung nangyari dun sa pagdating sa judges scorecard. Alright, well, tapos na yan, nanalo na tayo, and of course, you're now the WBO Intercontinental Champion. Happy ka pa sa performance mo, Jonas, sa nagawa mo sa laban na yan? Lalo na, yan na yung belt natin, iuwi mo na talaga yan. Kung ikaw ang tatanungin, ano pang aspeto sa style mo ang pwede mong improve after itong performance na to?
Una po talagang hindi ko na ipakita talaga yung lahat nung gusto ko ipakita doon sa laban ko kasi nga may problema tayo sa paa kasi naglagay tayo ng wrap. Hindi tayo makagalaw ng maayos. Pero sa susunod na laban natin, sir, makikita nyo na may mas i-improve pa yung footwork ko kasi sabi nila mabagal ako kasi kaya dahil doon, hindi ko nagamit yung footwork ko ng maayos kasi yun yung problema. At saka, lumalaban tayo na may wisdom tooth doon. Dati, dami na yun. Kaya nga, pagkatapos ng laban, talagang namaga talaga yung wisdom tooth. So, grabe. Kahit na yung, basta yung inisip ko na lang positive tayo na may panalo natin yung laban.
Pambihira pala yun. Talagang lumalabang ka na masakit ang ipin mo?
Yes po. Ganun po nangyari. Ang dami ko na parang lang yun, mga pagsubok lang yun na kung kaya mo ba na ganito. Pero siyempre, may panalay tayo sa Panginoon at saka sa training natin. Hindi na sayang.
Lalong nakakabilib ang ginawa mo, Jonas, at ang tapang na ipinakita mo dahil sa dami ng mga factors na laban sa iyo, crowd, judges, yung reputation ng iyong kalaban, tapos may problema ka sa paa, meron ka palang problema sa ngipin. Talaga namang pambihira ang ginawa mong panalong yan against an undefeated fighter katulad ni Carlos Caraballo. Alright, moving forward, Jonas, ikaw ay nandiyan sa Amerika, kausap mo ang iyong manager, sila Junie, si Mike, and of course, ang iyong mga promoter, kasama na dyan si Sean Gibbons. Ano ang plano ni Jonas One Punch Man Sultan?
Ang plano ko po ay nakadepende po sa kila Sir Brandon at saka Sir Sean Gibbons. At ang goal ko talaga naman ngayon ay pagkatapos ng lahat, may tayo. Basta ang plano ko po magiging world champion po ako kahit hindi ngayon. At least sa darating na panahon magiging world champion tayo, sir. Yun po.
Alam mo, ikaw, nagsubok ka na lumaban sa World Championship. Of course, natalo ka kay Jerwin Ancahas couple of years ago. Pero siyempre, ngayon, 3 sunod na panalo. Ang ganda ng panalo mo kay Carter. Ngayon, ang ganda ng panalo mo kay Caraballo. And napaka-init ng pangalan mo sa larangan ng mga bantamweight. Pero yung bantamweight division na yan, napaka-masikip. Lalong-lalo na at maraming mga Pilipino na kababayan natin ang mga kampiyon. Sino sa tingin mo diyan sa mga kampiyon na yan? Donaire, Inoue, Casimero, ang gusto mong makaharap, Jonas?
Para sa akin po, unang-una number 1 po sa listahan ko si makalaban ko po yan si Naoya Inoue po. Kasi siya po yung nagbigay sa akin ng kung sa isip ko kung makakaya ko ba or ano. Basta gusto ko siya makalaban si Naoya Inoue talaga.
Sa tingin mo, kaya mo estilo ni Inoue?
Lahat naman ng estilo, may paraan dyan, sir. Huwag ka lang matakot. Ibigay mong best mo kahit anong mangyari. At least lumalaban tayo.
Lahat ng mga kampiyon na yan ay may mga laban sa Disyembre, and of course, yung kagaya ng Kidonaire, it's a mandatory defense para sa kanya. So karamihan sa mga boksingerong yan ay ready lumaban sa Disyembre. So sa tingin mo ba, ang susunod mong laban ay maaaring early next year, Jonas?
Maybe po sa early next year. Kasi bago-bago pa lang tayo lumalaban. Naipanalo at saka titingnan ko lahat ng mga laban nila kung ano, basta pinag-aaralan ko na sila lahat po. Yan po.
Alright. Personally, ikaw ba ay may planong umuwi kaagad o gusto mo munang manatili sa Amerika para siguro lalo pang magmasid at lalo pang mag-training?
May balak po ako na umuwi sa Pilipinas para po ma-meet ko po yung pamilya ko sa Pilipinas at saka makarelax ng konti. Kahit 2 weeks lang tapos noon ay babalik na po ako dito sa training camp namin ni Jerwin Acas para makatulong po ako sa sparring niya.
So tutulong ka rin, katulad ng ginawa ni Jerwin sa iyo, ikaw naman ang tutulong sa kanya para sa kanyang laban sa Disyembre.
Yes po. Yan po ang yun po yung plano po. Kailangan po tulungan kasi yung binigay niya na motivation sa akin at ibabalik ko naman sa kanya po.
Gaano kalaki at gaano ka ganda ang mag-training sa US kaysa dito sa Pilipinas, Jonas? Sa tingin mo ba malaking bagay yun na makapag-training ka sa US imbis na dito sa atin sa Pilipinas?
Opo, napakalaking bagay po yung mag-training dito sa US kasi lahat po ng kinakailangan mo about sa training, sa vitamins, yan po, pagkain, yan po ang importante sa mga boxer ngayon na maganda yung condition palagi, may vitamins po palagi sa nakahanda at saka yung motivation ng mga trainer, yung yung tandem nyo, yung samahan nyo, dapat maganda kasi na-experience ko, nakasama ko si Coach Jobin at si Jerwin Acas, talagang si Coach Jobin po ay mahalaga po sa kanyang mga boxer. Kaya kaming mga boxer na po ay talagang motivated talaga kami na manalo bawat laban namin.
Alright, bago kita bitawan andiyan si Junie, nakita ko palagay mo isang tanong lang kay
Yes sir.
Junie Navarro, ang manager mo. Junie, Junie.
Best manager.
Best manager, Junie, congratulations sa panalo ng iyong boksingero. Ano ba ang plano? Ibibili mo na ba ng Lamborghini? Anong plano niyo? Junie?
Maraming salamat, kumpare, pare-com. Uwi muna si Jonas po para makasama pamilya niya. Tapos babalik din po siya after 2 weeks para balik training agad kasi ang kagandahan po kay Jonas talagang disiplinado kaya po nakuha niya. Alam niyo, Com, hindi naman natin maisip. Grabe yung Madison Square Garden, parang lugar nila yun yung mga Puerto Rican. So hindi natin na-expect pero yun, sa tulong na nakuha natin. Salamat sa Panginoon.
Very good. Well, congratulations sa inyong dalawa sa tandem ninyo kay Coach Joven. And talagang patuloy nating susubaybayan ang career ni Jonas Sultan. Jonas, as a parting shot, huli kong tanong sa iyo, ano ang napatunayan mo? Yung sinasabi ni Junie dito na Madison Square Garden, tahanan ng mga Puerto Ricans, 5-1 underdog, knockout artist, undefeated, ang lakas na sumuntok, pipirma lamang sa top rank, pati mga judges kalaban mo. Ano sa tingin mo ang napatunayan mo sa pagkapanalo mo kay Carlos Caraballo?
Napatunayan ko po na tayong mga Pinoy ay palaban po kahit saan masulog ng mundo. Ang Pinoy po ay palaban at saka grabe ang puso.
Yan ang importante. Puso, palaban, at pananalig sa
Panginoon po.
Maraming salamat. isa na lang ang hiling ko, Junie, dapat iuwi mo ako niyang sombrerong one punch. Ang ganda
Okay,
yan.
Kom. Pwede pa bati sa Zamboanga City.
Sige, bati sa Zamboanga.
Buenos días con ustedes solo na Zamboanga City. Gracias con el ustedes suporta. Alegre kami tayo sa Despirmi. Con el de mi pamilya, mi nana, na Australia. Y también con todo, mga Zamboangueño y Filipino. Maraming salamat po sa lahat ng mga Pilipino na pumunta po sa New York. Hindi po natin maisip na makuha natin to. Talagang sabi ko kay Jonas, we still remain humble. Saka pasalamat tayo kay Coach Joben na nandyan, Gibbons family. Talagang maganda yung teamwork natin kaya nakuha natin to. So, pasalamat din tayo kay Congressman Mikey Romero. Sumuporta rin po kay Jonas Sultan.
Sa Global
Very good.
Corporate. Salamat.
Maraming salamat. Congratulations, Jonas One Punch Sultan, champion ng WBO Junie Navarro at ng buong team ng Sultan Boxing. Maraming salamat. Keep punching and good luck. Stay safe.
Salamat, thank you.
Alright. Yan po mga kaibigan, ang WBO Intercontinental Bantamweight Champion si Jonas Sultan after sa kanyang panalo, a scintillating win laban kay Carlos Caraballo ng Puerto Rico. And of course, ang kanyang manager, si Junie Navarro. Well, congratulations again. Ang tapang ng Pilipino ay lumabas. Alright, bago tayo mag-break, pasok muna natin ang ating mga viral videos sa sports, mga trending videos sa larangan ng sports sa ating Stop and Pop moment. Kayo ba sa basketball, siyempre nagpupustahan din tayo Madalas ang nakataya dyan tanghalian, soft drinks, Siguro malaki na yung bigay mo sa akin yung jersey mo pag natalo ka, di ba? Pero kayo ba nakapagtaya na ng tuition fee sa school? Ito pong viral video namin ipapakita sa inyo. Merong challenge sa isang estudyante na kailangang maipasok niya ang tig-isang layup, free throw, three-pointer at half-court shot sa loob ng 30 segundo. Yan, makikita nyo, pumasok ang free throw, kailangan niyang pulutin ang bola at pupunta siya sa 3-point shot. Itong 3-point shot, akala ko bintis Tumalbog pataas at pumasok. So may pagkakataon na manalo ng kanyang nakatayang tuition fee. At nung half-court shot niya, off the glass at ang selebrasyon mahigit pa sa akala mo'y nagkampiyon na isang koponan sa PBA. Yung po ay ang kanyang premyo, $10,000 na tuition fee sa kanyang school. Pambihirang moment sa ating Stop and Pop. Napakaganda. Nakakatuwa yung mga ganyan na nakikita natin. Alright mga kaibigan, tuloy-tuloy po ang Power and Play. Kami po ay magbabalik. Sa aming pagbabalik, pag-uusapan natin ang desisyon tungkol kay Yuka Saso kasama ng Secretary General ng NGAP at ng Presidente ng Philippine Olympic Committee dito po sa Power and Play. Hatid sa inyo ng Cherry Loom at ng Cherry Tigo.
Alex, are you ready to have some fun on your first driving lesson?
Ang Power and Play ay hatid sa inyo na Cherry Loom, ang yerong aluminum. Sa ganitong pagbabago ang panahon mga kapatid, sobrang init tapos biglang uulan. Kailangan natin ng matibay at protektadong bubong. Dapat ang bubong ay yerong may aluminum. Kapag may aluminum, tsak na pangmatagalan. At isa lang ang alam kong dekalidad na yerong may aluminum. Yan ang Cherry Loom. Tibay protektado sa pangmatagalang yero. Cherry Loom, ang yerong may aluminum. Cherry Tigo, paano mo masasabing nakaka-enjoy i-drive ang sasakyan mo? Isa lang ang sagot ko dyan. Siyempre kapag ang minamaneho mo ay Cherry Tigo 7 Pro. Luxurious ang exteriors at comfort-filled naman ang interiors. Intelligent dahil meron itong automatic tailgate opening, engine start, at climate control na pwede mong makontrol using its smart key. Perfect pa pang long drive dahil meron itong large sunroof, HD touchscreen, wireless mobile charging, at 360 around view monitoring. Pro na pro ka with the Tigo 7 Pro dahil available na rin ito for as low as 88,000 pesos all in. Hanggang 120,000 din ang cash discounts exclusive ngayong September. Open pa for free test drives kaya ischedule mo na ang appointment sa Cherry Dealer today. Cherry Tigo 7 Pro, fun to drive. Joyride, ang bago ninyong kasundo. Dahil ayaw naming nahihirapan ka, book Joyride Motorcycle Taxi now and experience hassle-free commute. And it's never too early to start getting ready for the holidays. Now's the right time to plan the perfect gifts for your loved ones to avoid the holiday rush. For all your delivery needs this coming holiday season, Joyride Super App is here. Now available in Metro Manila, Metro Cebu, Laguna, Baguio, and soon in Bulacan. So download the latest Joyride Super App now. Elms Resto Bar Group, home of fried eating, with branches at Elms Tapas and Winery, located in Calle Bistro, Commonwealth, Quezon City, and Elms Grill and Bar in Poblacion, Makati. You may call 0977-157-0499 or 0966-854-4048 or visit their FB and IG pages at Elms Resto Bar Group for reservations and inquiries. Skin, your face and body anti-aging center, with branches at Wilson Street, San Juan City, and Alabang Town Center, Muntinlupa City. For inquiries, please call 0917-890-1640 or 0977-809-8886. ASEA Subic Beach Resort. Experience the getaway that you deserve and dive into limitless happenings, rejuvenating experiences, and gastronomic adventures. ASEA Subic Beach Resort. Power and Play would also like to thank the Umami Bowl, your go-to for Japanese rice bowls, and Lick Hobby, weave by weave, hand in hand. Check out their IG pages.
Maraming salamat po sa lahat ng mga tagapagtaguyod ng Power and Play. I'd also like to thank Perfect Drive PH, ang ating partner po, with of course ang ating kaibigan si Adrian Flores, ang editor ng Perfect Drive PH. Get your free copy now ng kanilang latest issue. I'd also like to say hello sa lahat po ng mga maagang tumutok at patuloy na nanonood ng Power and Play kay Ricky Campo. Alam mo, all over the Philippines to, at saka si Bonnie Telim mula sa Maasin, Leyte, Helen Lopez ng Laguna, Errol Grimares, Danny Tanto mula sa Zamboanga, Alex Fuentes mula sa Bacolod City, si Toto J. Derecho mula sa Bocabe, Bulacan, mula sa Mabalacat City, si Rosalinda Cuya, and from Tokyo, Japan, Ramil Salceda, si Lorna Tejo, Maricris Pacheco, and marami pa po. Maraming salamat po sa inyong pagtutok tuwing Sabado ng umaga sa Power and Play. I'd also like to say hello nga pala sa ating mga nakasama kahapon sa Bistro 62 ni Ana Santos, ang aking kaibigan, and of course, ang aking kumpare, sila Edward De Vera at si Kat De Vera, and si Mark Bata. Magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. Alright, ang mainit pong pinag-uusapan ngayon ng ating mga kababayan ay ang pagdidesisyon ni Yuka Saso na maging Japanese citizen at bitawan na ang pagiging Filipino citizen dahil sa batas ng Japan. At yan pong paksang yan ay ating tinalakay sa ating panayam kasama mismo ng mga taong nakakaalam sa isyung ito. Ang Pangulo ng Philippine Olympic Committee, si Congressman Abraham Bambol Tolentino, at ang Secretary General ng National Golf Association of the Philippines, si Mr. Bones Floro. Ito po ang ating panayam sa Power and Play. Malaki pong karangalan para sa amin ngayon dito sa Power and Play makasama mismo ang Pangulo ng Philippine Olympic Committee, si Congressman Abraham Bambol Tolentino, and of course ang Secretary General ng National Golf Association ng Pilipinas, walang iba kundi si Mr. Bones Floro. Magandang araw po, Kong Bambol and Sec Gen Bones.
Magandang araw po, Noli. Magandang araw sa inyo lahat.
Good morning sa inyo lahat, Kong Noli, Kong Bambol. Good morning.
Oo nga pala, si Bones is coming to us direct from Dubai.
Right from Dubai.
Kamusta ba ang Kamusta ba ang quarantine, ang mga protocol dyan, Bones?
Wala, Kong Noli. Walang quarantine.
Walang protocol.
Ang mask indoor lang. Wala, ang gulo dito, dami tao.
Kaya nakakatuwa na nakakatuwa ko kahit paano bumaba na ang ating alert levels, and malaking bagay ito para sa ekonomiya. Ang Tagaytay, Kong, is open for business?
Yes, back to pre-pandemic, so back to traffic.
lalo na yung
Good. That's economy.
Oo,
That's economy.
mabuti naman at mabubuhay din ang mga negosyo dyan sa ating mga tourist areas. Well, of course, ang hindi natin pag-uusapan dito ang tourism. Pero ang topic of the day, of course, at ang pinag-uusapan ng lahat ay ang desisyon ng ating pambato sa golf, si Yuka Saso, ang kanyang desisyon to take up Japanese citizenship over her being a Filipino citizen. So I guess just to lay the groundwork dito in our discussion, and do sa mga hindi pa masyadong familiar, bakit ganito nangyari? Bones, why did Yuka have to pick or to choose between being a Filipino at saka being a Japanese? At kung ano ang repercussions nun in case hindi niya ginawa yun?
Welcome, no? The Japan has their own laws, no, especially on citizenship. Unlike tayo sa Pilipinas na pinapayagan tayo mag-dual citizen, sa Japan pinapapili ka on your 22nd birthday, actually before your 22nd birthday, no. So in other words, medyo malungkot kami na she is made to make this difficult decision na sayang, sana hindi naman dapat. Pero it is what it is, di ba? Yan ang batas nila. So kailangan na talagang pumili. So in other words, choice but no choice, di ba?
Well, what is the official position ng NGAP with respect to that?
Well, number one, as I said, we're very sad that she has to go through something this difficult, no? And secondly, of course, medyo we're also sad na she cannot, we won't see our flag next to her name anymore, no? In the future. So talagang malaking bagay sa atin mga Pilipino yan. But you know, we're definitely no. Pero it's her career, di ba? So kailangan niyang isipin din yon dahil professional athlete siya. Hindi na siya amateur representing the country, so to speak, no. So nandito pa naman tayo to support her kasi as she's always said, no, to everyone she comes across, she will always be Filipino and Japanese at the same time.
Kong Bambol, alam natin kung gaano kalaki ang nagawa na role ni Yuka sa ating Asian Games campaign. And of course, in the Olympics, siya yung isa sa ating mga inaasahan. And she really played very well. Umabot siya dun sa last day. What is the official position dito, Kong, and your reaction, I guess, to the decision ni Yuka na maging Hapon rather than manatili being Filipino?
Yes, Noli, no? We respect her decision, be it a business decision or family decision. Pero ganun pa rin, by heart, Filipino pa rin siya, no? Kasi dito siya pinanganak. Hindi nga lang niya ma-represent yung Philippines na after this decision niya. Mabigat man, pero handa na naman ng ang POC doon, pati ang NSA, kasi darating baka talaga dumating sa ganun. Alam natin before na baka dumating sa ganun decision, just like nung mawala sa atin si Wesley So nung sa chess, no? So hindi naman natin kayang ibigay yung kayang ibigay ng United States. Ganun din sa Japan, no? Maybe social service and healthcare na may ibigay kay Yuka. At the same time, yung passport niya, di ba? Almost every week, every month, she's playing internationally. So, using a Japanese passport, laking tulong naman yan sa career niya, sa sarili niya. Less stress, di ba? Aminin na, harapin natin yun, less stress.
Mas madaling bumiyahe pag gamit.
I think 180 countries, walang visa yan pag Japanese passport. One of the powerful passports in the world, di ba? So, aside from that, yun nga, sponsorships, definitely, babahan ng big sponsors from Japan. Kaya,
Ang official statement ni Yuka, sabi niya, they have begun the process of acquiring Japanese citizenship. So hindi pa, ito ay may proseso, no, Bones? And una-una, were you even consulted at all? Kayo ba ay nasabihan by the management team ni Yuka about this?
Well, kami ni Kong Bambol, we spent a lot of time with Yuka sa Tokyo, no, during the Olympics. And kaming dalawa, especially si Kong Bambol, syempre kinakausap namin si Yuka and the rest of her team na, syempre we're trying to convince, di ba, na Pilipino ka na, di ba? But syempre at that time, it was still, she kind of knew already. But definitely her father was already decided. But syempre, kami ni Kong Bambol, we had to try our best, di ba? So we did. But like Kong Bambol said earlier, syempre business decision yan, and family decision, no? So ang dami nga namang perks, no? So we obviously we knew it was coming at some point. Hindi lang natin nakita na it would be sooner than later, no?
Kong, nabanggit mo si Wesley So, and of course you are the Secretary General ng Philippine Chess Federation. Meron ba kayo nakikitang yung similarity? And at the same time, iba ba yung rason nung dalawa?
Merong similarities, forward-looking, di ba? So, after your life, after how many years, mas maganda ba buhay ko pag US citizen ako or Japanese citizen compared to sa atin, di ba? Yung mga perks, benefits, everything. So, ganun pa man, we have to thank Yuka for representing our country for the past years. We're happy for her. Kung yun ang decision niya, siguro mas may improve niyan everything. Mahirap din kumuha ng parang Singapore yan. Mahirap kumuha ng citizenship nun. Kaya sayang kung makakawala rin. Marami pa naman pampalit si Bones na dinidevelop.
Gaano kalaki yung impact nito, Bones, sa programa ng NJP? And, does this set us back? Or sa tingin mo, sabi nga ni Kong Bambol, marami pa namang nasa stable ninyo na magagaling na talents.
Well, not to downplay the impact, no, pero representation-wise, impact solely sa Olympics. Why? Because Yuka's a professional athlete, and as of now, like the events that we do heavily participate in, such as the Asian Games and the SEA Games, those are amateur athletes for golf, no. I'm not too sure about the other sports, but as of now, for golf, it's all amateur athletes. So, ang impact sa atin is that, well, si Yuka, she's a golfing hero, di ba? So we have a lot of our younger generation look up her, no? But again, because of how she feels, how she carries herself, and largely by her statement also that she will always be Filipina and Japanese at the same time. Tingin ko, as a golfing hero to the Philippines, hindi naman mawawala yan, di ba? We will all, our kids, our grandkids will all still look up to her, di ba? As a Filipina golfing hero.
So in other words, ito kung talagang dapat pabayaan na natin to. And there's nothing else we can do at this point in the next 2 years dahil sabi nga niya, itong proseso to medyo it will take another couple of years. Do you think that there's a chance na magbago ang pananaw dito ni Yuka? Kung, and is there any move?
Hindi na siguro, by law kasi hindi na niya pwedeng palampasin yung 2 years, no? Yeah, yung 22 years old. So, computing that age, hindi rin naaabot sa ano eh. Kung abot mo lang sana yung 22 na isa pang yung Paris, no? Hindi rin naaabot. Hindi rin naaabot yung 22 years old eh. So, talagang yun na. Hanggang kung lang siya makakalaro sa Paris sana sa atin, representing Philippines, pero hindi na rin naaabot.
Now, I want to ask you, Kong, no? Kasi alam naman natin, si Yuka is just one of the world-class athletes na meron tayo. That is abroad. Who is abroad, no? Kaloyulo is abroad. EJ Obiena is abroad. At marami pa yan, mga basketball players natin. Jack Animang, yung magaling na basketball player natin, nasa Serbia ngayon. Meron bang pwedeng gawin kung na hindi pa nagagawa ng VOC?
Parang mahirap talian, no? Parang mahirap talian na walang ganun. Sa amin sa cycling, pag lumipat ka ng ibang team, ibang bansa, no? Yung license mo cancel ng 1 year, hindi ka makakalaro ng 1 year. So I don't know sa golf, sa ibang sports, no, pag lumipat na lang. Sa ibang sports, meron ganun eh. Even sa chess pala, pag lumipat ka, isang taong hindi nakalaro yan si Wesley nung lumipat sa US before acquiring the license.
I guess ang sinasabi kanina mo, Kong, at saka ni Bones, is that this was actually a business decision dahil even in the statement ni Yuka, sinasabi naman niya, ina-acknowledge naman niya na Filipino siya, no? By heart, by birth, at meron pa rin siyang roots dyan. No? So it is a business decision. Meron kaya, Bones, na mga bagay na pwede nating tapatan para maging attractive to stay on as a player in the Philippines? Kasi mga nagtatanong sa akin, halimbawa, yung aking pamangkin na si Alex, I asked her point blank, and of course, she told me, Tito, hindi naman ako lilipat dyan, no? Pero, because of the perks abroad, and, yan ay, yung mga bagay na ganyan, is there anything, I guess the fans are asking, pwede kaya nating papatan ito or mabigyan sila ng additional incentives to remain as Filipinos?
Well, siguro it's gonna be difficult, no? Kasi napaka-holistic ng question na yan. Ang daming facets to it, di ba? Like Kong Bambol said earlier, syempre, it's not only during their athletic career, no? It's also in the retirement years. So medyo mabigat nga naman yung all the perks na tatanggap nila. So mabigat na laban yan. And then siguro at some point, no, pag natapatan na, hindi wala na tayong wala nang nag-migrate, di ba? So
Kumbaga, kung yung brain drain nga natin, yung mga magagaling nating maestro, yung ating mga magagaling na doktor at nurses, lumilipat ng bansa, atleta pa.
Totoo. Kung meron man tayong itapat o ibigay, band-aid lang yun. Hindi, hindi pang matagalan, pang tama, pang retirement, pang next generation, di ba? Ano yung magiging anak nila, magiging apo nila, di ba?
So it will really be very difficult. Kung
yes.
Dapat ba tayo mabahala with this development?
we can, yun nga, yung program na keep on looking for a grassroots program na yung talagang dito sa bansa natin, no, na hindi sa bagay si Wesley nga dito rin, no, nahila pa rin dahil doon sa program ng mga green card or what. Wala, parang mabigat pigilan pag may ganyan at sumikat ka talagang kukunin ka, di ba? Kahit sinabi mo, nurses and doctors, di ba? Health workers natin, kahit anong, biro mo, pag kahit Europe, Germany, or Asian countries, Singapore, Japan, pag pumunta doon at tumagal na, then citizenship na kasunod doon, hila mo na buong kamag-anak mo. So, part of ng status ng Philippines, we're on the developing, as a developing country, no? So, may katapatan yung i-offer ng first world, di ba? So, pati yung first athlete natin, nakukuha nila.
Mahirap talagang, lalo na pag usapan na dito, kinabukasan rin of course yung
green pasture na pinag-uusapan dyan.
Oo, tsaka yung stability.
Hanggang sa mga anak mo na kamag-anak, hanggang sa magiging apo.
Oo. Well, Bones,
develop lang talaga ng local pa.
oo nga, kailangan mag-develop na lang ng mag-develop. Pero yun na nakakahinayang, Bones, kahit pa paano. I-develop mo sa local. Tapos iba ang kukuha.
Pero ano yan, special circumstances kasi like it's more likely for mga dual citizens, 'di ba? Yan yung mga ganyan na may meron na silang half foot in the door, 'di ba? To have to be a citizen of somewhere else, no? Yan ang normal track eh. Kahit kami dito sa golf, lahat ng mga bata natin, lahat sila nare-recruit ng mga NCAA colleges in America, 'di ba? So they're all given scholarships. Diba? So that's the normal track, I guess.
Well, we're certainly hoping, and of course, tama ka, no? Yan naman kaso ni Yuka, ni Wesley, ay mga isolated, hindi naman siguro yun ang general rule. Because these are athletes who are world champions. Sabihin na natin gano'n, no? Nanalo si Yuka ng US Open and she's considered as one of the best in the women's field right now. And bihirang-bihira yan. Of course, mas marami pa yan, pero siguro naman bibihira yung dual world champion, tapos meron ties in other countries. So that's,
tama ka, kasi it's isolated cases because right now, the POC programs, they work. The PSC support, they work. Diba? So we're not hemorrhaging athletes, diba? We're not losing athletes. It's very isolated cases lang talaga.
Right. All right. Mapunta ako sa ibang topic kong napabalita na yung Southeast Asian Games for next year ay tuloy na. What is the latest, Kong, sa Vietnam Southeast Asian Games?
Yeah, ngayon lang. Ngayon ko lang na-receive yung sulat. Talagang tuloy na May 12 ang opening. May 12 to 23. May 12 to 23. So that will be 3 days, 4 days. 3 days after the national and local election. So, may mga atleta hindi makakaboto dyan and officials. Whether it's 1,000, sigurado kasi maagang aalis yung iba eh. Hindi naman pwedeng umalis yun baka may quarantine pa ng ilang days or what, di pa natin alam. At saka yung acclimatization nga ng mga atleta natin, kailangan dumating din talaga saka yung practice doon sa venue, kailangan dumating din ng 1 week before. So may sacrifice ng content. May sacrifice na hindi sila makakaboto.
And the venue, Kong, is going to be in Hanoi? Ano ba ang...
Hanoi at saka yung isang province. Maraming cities na babagsakan. So iwahiwalay. Iwahiwalay. 2 to 3 provinces, different cities. Iwahiwalay. So tuloy na po, May 12. And with that, buti na lang, nasa level 2, inalaw na rin tayo ng ITF to have inalaw na yung contact sports, no? On level 2. By next month, kung level 1 na yan, mas maganda. Actually, sinabi mo kayo ng sports yung tourism lang, no? Pwede nga mag-sports tourism na. We can host na. So, sino mag-host ng mga laro, continental or regional games.
Yun ba, Kong, is in the agenda rin ng POC? Are you beginning to encourage more international events sa ating bayan?
Yes, parang next year nga, may naka-schedule ng baseball eh. No? Kahit ganun-ganun lang yung baseball, kahit di tayo umabot sa Olympics, pero unti-unti na tayong bumabalik sa Asian level. Dating number 1 tayo dyan. Yung, remember the Blue Boys, yung Blue Girls, di ba? Kanlubang team.
That's right. Oo, napakalakas ng panahon na yun. At of course, ang leadership dyan ay napakagaling din with even sila Chito Loizaga doing very good sa baseball.
So with that, lowering ng level at saka yung bumaba na talaga yung COVID, even sports tourism, encourage natin kung like only any second host na kung meron silang schedule to host, even kahit na hindi hindi sports competition, kahit nga convention or yun na, mga assembly ng mga ASEAN or what. You can,
That's
para
right.
lang, di ba?
Panumbalik ang ating ekonomiya and of course, mabuhayan din ang ating buhay dito sa sports. Bones, what about the golf circuit? Anong plano ninyo now na bumaba na ang alert levels? Of course, ang golf, maagang pinayagan niya maglaro although hindi pa pwede ang competition. What is the latest now, Bones? Pwede bang magkaroon ng tournaments ang mga golfers?
Well, we wrote na to IATF and to DTI last week. We're just awaiting final clearance, no? Kasi we're ready to go. Umpisahan natin yan with elite amateur events. So we're planning, if approved already, we're planning to hold starting towards Christmas na, no? And then another one January. So we're raring to go, and even non-elite level sa mga corporate events, ang daming gusto magpa-tournament na dyan, di ba? So as you know, it's big business, and it keeps the industry alive. No, we have about in the golf industry, maybe about 40,000 or more breadwinners that depend on the golf industry for their livelihood. No, so we're hoping na payagan na tayo dyan.
And of course, you are in Dubai because meron nangyayari dyang competition. Can you update us on who is going to be playing and sino-sino ba ang ano bang nakasalalay dyan, Bones?
Well, we just completed the 3rd day of competition here in Dubai. We have the Asia Pacific men's amateur, no? And then the week after, so next week, will be in Abu Dhabi for the women naman, the women's Asia Pacific amateur. Napakalaking event to in Asia Pacific, no? So this is very huge in terms of amateur events.
And who are our golfers there, Bones, right now?
So for men, we have Adrian Chan and we have Carl Corpus. They're both are national athletes. No? So they play for the Philippines. But they currently, all of our athletes, they study in America. Eh. So
I know Carl. I know Carl very well.
Yes. Carl is in San Jose State. Yeah.
San Jose State, that's right. Oh.
Yeah.
And in the women, sino na? Wala na si Yuka. So sino ngayon ang lalaro para sa atin? Hindi rin naman pwede sila
we have still part of the Asian Games winning team and the SEA Games winning team, si LK Go. So she's still an amateur and she'll be representing us also. And we have our upcoming other athletes, no? Sila Rian Maliksi, si Koray Abelar, Sofia Chabon, and we have Mika Fortuna. And, wait, I'm forgetting one more. Sorry.
These are solid names.
Oh yeah, we have Bernice Ilas, yes, there.
Oh, all right. Well,
so we have
before I wish you all the best, Bones. Certainly, we're hoping na kahit pa paano, hindi sila ma-demoralize ito mga balitang ma-inspire to play even better for the Philippines. Kong, before I let you go, of course, the COVID levels are down. Sabi mo nga, mabuting balita yan, hindi lamang para sa turismo, pero kung hindi para sa sports. Would you encourage now, Kong, na magkaroon na ng fans stadium at magkaroon pa ng more competitions to begin, lalo-lalo na sa amateur level?
Fans, palagay ko pwede na kasi basta fully vaccinated. Na nakita niyo naman matagal na yung mga laro sa States, puro yung NBA, baseball, lahat ng sports doon, di ba? Football. So kung mag-iingat lang, limited, 50%. Churches na, inaalaw nila eh. Kaya, di ba, na mostly, open, except volleyball and basketball, di ba? Ibang sports, hindi indoor, no? So, pero ito pwede na kasi mahirap din maglaro ng walang spectators. Basta maigpit lang sa gate na fully vaccinated, that's it. Palagay ko, yun lang. Kagaya nga sabi ni Bon, sa airport ata ng Dubai, dire-diretso, wala nang RT-PCR, basta fully vaccinated, wala nang antigen, dire-diretso na.
Basta mahalaga lahat mabigyan ng bakuna at talaga mag-ingat. So, well, before I let the two of you go, babalikan ko lang yung ating topic about Yuka, and I guess marami pa ring fans na of course sumusuporta. Meron din naman na mga tumutuligsa at nagiging very critical kay Yuka. Your message, Kong Bambol, sa ating mga sports fans in relation to Yuka Saso.
Yes, of course, we respect her decision, family business decision. We respect that. Siguro mas malalim, mas malayo yung tinitingnan nila. So, we're happy for her decision. Tama naman. In reality, frankly speaking, tama yung decision niya. We cannot really offer something what Japan or other countries, first world countries can offer. No? So, buti na lang nilatag ni Bones yung nilatag na kanina yung mga pangalan. Pumili na kayo, may clue.
Bones, I guess yung mga fans ni Yuka na na-disappoint, and of course mga fans ng golf na umaasa na isang araw bibigyan ni Yuka tayo ng isang medalya sa Olympics ay bumaksak ang moral. What can you tell all of our golf fans, lalong-lalo na in relation to the golf program ng ating bansa?
Well, si Kong Bambol said it well, no? Let's all rally behind Yuka, and she gave us a lot. She gave the Philippines a lot. So let's support her with her decision, and let's all respect it, no? That's all we ask. Her heart will always be Filipina, and she'll always be there for us, and I'm hoping that all of us will always be there for her as well, no? Yes, okay. We'll get the gold medal via some other athlete, no? Definitely. Darating yan.
Alam natin that it will be a long while again before we get another Yuka Saso. But ang mas mahalaga mga hinahanda para sa ating kinabukasan sa golf and in sports. And as we say, sports is all about competition. Wala namang sigurado sa mundo ng sports eh. The only thing that is sure is that if we play it, we have a chance to win it. Yun lang naman ang importante dyan. Kong Bambol Tolentino, Secgen, Bones Floro, marami po salamat for joining us sa Power and Play. More power sa Team Philippines kung saan man tayo papunta. Lalong-lalo na ngayong palapit na 2022. Maraming po salamat. Yan po mga kaibigan ang ating panayam with Congressman Bambol Tolentino, ang presidente ng POC, and of course Bones Floro, ang section ng NGAP sa issue ni Yuka Saso. Alam mo, simple lang ang aking huling pananalita dyan. No, let's find happiness in the success of others. Wag po nating i-down. Kalimutan po natin yung crab mentality, kalimutan po natin yung tampo. Let's just find happiness for Yuka. Yun po ang mahirap na desisyon. Marami po akong alam tungkol dyan na hindi naman natin pwedeng sabihin, but alam ko po na Yuka would have wanted, kung siya lang ay masusunod, na manatiling Pilipino as a citizen officially. But in her heart, siya po ay patuloy na magiging Pilipino. Alright, bago tayo magpatuloy, balikan muna natin ang ilang mga mahalagang moments in sports history this week in sports history. October 31, 1950 o 71 years ago, naglaro ang isang African-American player sa NBA. Yan po si Earl Lloyd ng nooy Washington Capitals. 6 points lang ang na-score ni Lloyd sa first game, pero landmark moment naman sa liga ang paglalaro niya. Pagkatapos ni Lloyd, libo-libong African-American players na ang pumasok sa NBA, kabilang ang maraming all-time greats. Earl Lloyd becomes the first African-American to play in the NBA this week in sports history. Napakahalagang araw po ito sapagkat ito po ang talagang nagbukas ng mga pinto para sa napakagagaling ng mga African-American players, and of course marami sa mga hinahanga natin ngayon sa NBA. Speaking of the NBA, tuloy-tuloy ang aksyon sa NBA season at we have a full slate of games again today. Abangan nyo mamaya, hindi natin kung ma-recap natin yan. In the meantime, before we lead into our next interview, magandang stop and pop moment ito dahil ito ay tungkol sa tennis sa ating stop and pop. Meet Lolo Leonid Stanislavski. Siya po ang pinakamatandang tennis player sa mundo. And ito pong 97-year-old mula Ukraine na game na nakipaglaro kay 20-time Grand Slam champion Rafael Nadal. Dream come true raw po para kay Lolo Leonid na makaduelo ang world number 4. At training na rin niya para sa, ito pakinggan niyo to, 2021 Super Seniors World Championship. Super Seniors World Championship. Opo, may competition talaga para sa edad 90 pataas. Ilan kaya sumasali dyan, 90 pataas na nagtitennis? Mismo si Stanislavski ang sumulat sa International Tennis Federation para idagdag ang category. Aabangan natin kung siya ang mananalo dyan. Stanislavski, no? Si Lolo Leonid sa ating Stop and Pop. Nakakatuwa, no? Kaya, tingnan natin kung mananalo si Lolo Leonid. But this is a perfect way to segue to our next interview. Ang ating pong makakausap ngayon ay ang world number 4 sa junior girls ITF ranking. And of course, siya rin po ay naglalaro na sa WTA, ranked about, I think, 527th in the world. Siya po ang pinagmamalaki nating teenage tennis sensation ng Pilipinas na nagtapos ng US Open, yung kanyang last major, sa semifinals ng doubles at ng quarterfinals ng singles. Ito po ang ating panayam with Alex Eala sa Power and Play. Let's put the spotlight on Alex Eala sa Power and Play.
With us now, Alex Eala, our teenage tennis sensation from Spain. Thanks for joining us, Alex. And how are you? How are you doing?
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I'm doing great. Still trying to recover and rest. So yeah.
We'll talk about that. You know, as I'm taping this, it is November 1 here, and it's a holiday, and of course Halloween just passed. Is there Halloween in Spain, Dex?
Yes, of course, it's still a big thing, I think, globally. I went out for dinner last night, but nothing too special.
No costumes, huh? No costumes.
No.
All right. You know, it's been a very busy year for you, Alex. By my count, and I may be mistaken, I counted about 12 ITF tournaments. Of course, the majors, WTA. It's been very, very busy for you, and you've had a tremendous year. You know, you won a couple of tournaments. You placed very well in Switzerland in a tough 60,000 ITF tournament. You placed very high in a 25,000 tournament back in February in France. So it's been a very good year. How is life on the tour, and how have you adjusted?
Well, I'm getting used to playing more futures and in the women's circuit, and I love to play and in the against these more experienced players, because I think that it's a big challenge for me, and there's so much I can learn from all of these different types of playing styles and different situations. So I'm definitely really enjoying it. Yeah.
So what has been the best part so far for you playing in the tour, both in the juniors as well as in the women's?
I think traveling is it's a big I think it's a privilege that I get, or opportunity that I get to travel so much around the world, that I don't think a lot of people can do, especially right now. So to just see so many different things and different cultures, and to experience so many different countries, and to meet new people, and to experience new environments. What I wanted to say, it's really an exciting thing for me, especially at this age, to learn more about my game, about tennis, and to be exposed to these types of situations.
In terms of that, Alex, the perks of traveling, do you go with the team? Are these all arranged by your team? And do you get any kind of privileges, in terms of lines and stuff like that? Because not many people understand what it's like to be a tennis pro.
Well, it's not all super happy and super fun. Of course, there are the things that you don't want to do. Sometimes you have to wake up early for the flights. You have to fly straight away after the matches. I don't always travel with a big group of people. Um, a lot of the times I travel with just my coach, or my parents will meet me somewhere. But then the times that I do travel with a lot of people, let's say my family, or other players from the academy, it's really a fun experience. And um, as you mentioned, my calendar is usually handled by my parents along with my coaches, and of course myself. Um, so just to answer your question, yeah.
Yeah, well, you've been to so many places. Of course, most of your tournaments are played in Europe, and of course, you've played in other parts of the world, even in Africa. What has been the most interesting place so far for you?
That's a good question. I do think Africa was um very different for me. Going to South Africa and to Tunisia is I think it's very it was very new to me, and I really enjoyed seeing, especially in South Africa. There's so many sights to see, and just it was so beautiful there, and I had a really good experience, especially even tennis wise. But I think even within Spain, or within different countries, the different cities, they're all a, at least a little bit different. So I think
Mhm.
it's really nice to see when I'm traveling.
Yun yung kasarapan, Alex, no, ng pagiging part of the tour. Of course, the traveling, and of course, the competition, the culture,
Mhm.
all the people you meet. What is the difficult part naman of the tour for you?
Uh, Also a good question. I think the most difficult part isn't necessarily linked to traveling. I think it's just what the difficulties or the struggles that every athlete undergoes. It's like,
Mm.
if you're doing too much, if you're traveling too much, tournament after tournament, or training after training, then I think it's normal that sometimes you get tired, or you're close to burning out, some people would say. But um, I think those are the moments that really define you, how you bounce back, or when you have a hard loss. I think those are the hardest moments, probably, but those are also the most important moments, in my opinion.
And of course, when you talk about that tournaments that you participate in, still the biggest ones and the most memorable ones are the majors or the Grand Slam tournaments, no? Because obviously it's the pump, the hype, the media coverage, and of course the kind of competition you get. Um, so far, you've played in all of the majors, in the at least participating in the juniors and in the women's now. Which is your favorite, Alex, so far? In terms of, I'm not talking about the surface or competition, but just like the environment that you find yourself in. Which has been perhaps the most interesting for you?
It's very hard to tell, especially now that the experiences are a bit different to normal because of COVID. But I really did enjoy US Open this year, and because I think also because we traveled with quite a big team, and a lot of my family came to watch me. I think that made it really special, and that made that tournament very memorable for me.
Well, talking about the U.S. Open, you played very, very well in the U.S. Open. You finished in the quarterfinal round of the singles. Uh, you finished in the semifinal round of the doubles, and of course, that is much better than your previous U.S. Open. What do you think was the reason for the better performance, the better results that you got this year?
Well, of course, the my two US Open runs were almost 2 years apart, I think. And I think 2 years, especially for a teenager like myself, can be a long time. Well, it can a lot can happen during 2 years. Is what I'm saying, and I think during that a lot of time, I worked really hard on the specific areas where I needed to improve, and I'm very happy to see my performance and how I've grown my development. But of course, I'm still looking to improve and to progress even more.
You talk about that, and when we look back at your U.S. Open performance, played very well with Van der Winkel. I think it was your partner in the doubles in the U.S. Open. In the singles, of course, it was a terrific run, but we also saw how your compressed schedule, and that's not because it's not unusual, but there were also some cancellations because of the weather and changes in the schedule. Did that affect you, because you also got injured in your singles match against Skilipoti, and did that kind of the compressed schedule, how difficult was that for you?
Well, it happens actually more often than you think it would. It's not something extraordinary for this to happen, that you cancel matches because of the weather, because of other external factors. But I prepared for it very well, or I prepared for it the best I could, like I do whenever this does occur. And as for the injury, it had been ongoing, and I think that was a result of the weeks prior to US Open. So I was prepared, and I went into the tournament knowing that I wasn't at 100%, but I gave all of what I could. I gave 100% of what I had.
And well, that's interesting to hear, Alex, because that's something that I guess many people didn't know. Of course, it happened after. I mean, people heard about this, but now you are also recovering from an injury. Is there a connection? And can you update us on your current state of condition, physical condition?
Well, yes, I got injured a bit before US Open, and I tried to prepare as much as I could for the tournament, and I think I'm very happy with my attitude on court and the effort I gave during those matches. But now I'm almost done with the recovery process. Of course, I still have to take it slow and not rush to start competing again, but I've gotten significantly better, I think, physically and health wise. So I'm very happy to say that.
Where is the injury specifically? Is it in your back?
It's on my foot. Yeah,
On your
and
foot?
the back
Okay.
was the back was a result of I guess lack of fitness during
Okay.
the time when my foot wasn't fully healed yet before US Open.
How serious is this, Alex? In terms of structural, no damage naman on the structural of the foot.
No, it's I don't think it's as I said, it's already almost fully healed. And I can
Okay.
almost start maybe in a few weeks go to tournaments already. So it's nothing too serious.
Well, that's a relief for many of your fans who are obviously listening because they want to see you back on the court. And talking about the court and your performance in the U.S. Open, what was your biggest takeaway from this particular Grand Slam that you participated in?
Well, oh, that's okay. That's good. I think the biggest takeaway is that you're not always going to be. I'm not always going to be playing my best. Or I as a tennis player, I need to learn how to play in certain conditions. For example, the cancellation of the matches or the delaying of the matches or injuries, and I need to find solutions to those problems as opposed to using them as excuses, which I think I did quite well during that week.
Very good. That really sounds, like a very positive way to look at, things that happen that we sometimes don't expect, obviously. But, let me digress a little bit. We know that the U.S. Open was about two teenagers as well who captured the imagination of many tennis fans, Leila Fernandez and, of course, Emma Raducanu. I'm interested to know, have you ever met these two? Have you ever played against them? And what are your impressions about both?
Well, I think they're both amazing players and amazing people, I'm sure. I've actually met Leila a couple of times. She came here to the academy and I trained with her. And I thinking a few years back, I played against her in doubles when I was 14, maybe 14, 15. And she's really an amazing player and she works really hard. And I'm sure for Emma to have done what she did, then she's also a very hard worker.
Well, it's a good sign for, as they say, for many of the tennis players, especially the young players now that you have champions that are right about your age, and the tennis, especially in the women's division, tennis is just so unpredictable. Anybody can win at any time, and
Yes.
does that give you some kind of inspiration, Alex?
Of course, I think this year's U.S. Open run for women was a huge inspiration and a huge motivation for a lot of players my age and of all ages really. And I think there's a lot of things you can take away from their game and their mentality. So yes, they definitely caught my eye.
This year also, well, you had an overall win-loss record, a winning season, and you did very well, especially on the hard surface. You had a 17-12 record. Your record is very strong in both clay and in the hard courts. What is your assessment, Alex, of your entire game? Let's focus on your game now, in terms of uh, which part of it has improved and which areas you feel you need to focus a little more.
Mm, that's a good question. I think that mentally, I've I consider my mental game a win because I've been able to not only sustain but um, progress and improve my mental game, and the attitude that I have on court. And as for improvements, I think it's just keeping the consistency throughout the whole match and not going up and down a lot of the time. And yeah, I think that's what I'm trying to work on right now.
What about physical conditioning? We know that you're coming off an injury, as you mentioned, and you're recovering from that. But assuming that your foot would be, obviously would get better. Uh, are you happy with your entire physical conditioning throughout this 2021 season?
Actually, right now, I'm very happy with my physical condition because of this slight injury. Then I've had more time to be in the gym and more time to focus on my fitness. So I think I'm even more fit than I was before. To be honest, yeah. So I'm very happy with how I've worked and how my coaches have helped me throughout this whole process.
Let's talk about your schedule. Of course, you are playing in both the juniors and the women's. How was that this year? Do you think that you will continue with this? And is there going to be a time when you're going to start just concentrating on the women's, maybe?
Yes, I'm sure there's going to be a time. But I'm still 16. I have 2 more years in the circuit, I believe, and um, well, I'm still trying to find the balance right now, and of course, I'm very excited to play more women's tournaments and more futures. But I think that um, there are still a couple of things that you can take away and that I can learn from playing junior.
Mhm. You are currently ranked number 4 in the juniors, and you are now 527 in the WTA. How is the pace? Are you happy where you are right now in terms of rankings, and what are your personal goals come 2022?
I am happy with where I am right now in the rankings. I try not to put so much pressure or rush myself in this process. I think that ranking will come with in my improvement and come with my the more I work on my tennis, the more the ranking will come. So I'm just trying to focus on my game as opposed to the results that it comes with.
Great. All right. Well, talking about 2022, it's just a few months from now, and it's going to be another busy year for you. What is the outlook for you, Alex? What are you looking at? How many? Have you plotted it at all? And how many tournaments do you see yourself playing in for next year?
I have not started on planning that yet. I'm sure my coaches and my parents have looked into it, but it's still quite early to tell. But I'm sure after a good preseason that I'll be ready to go.
All right. Well, obviously the majors will be a major part. The Grand Slam tournaments, rather, would be a major part of your schedule. Are we expecting that you will be playing in all 4 majors in 2022, Alex?
I wouldn't guarantee that it's all 4, but I think playing the majors are still something that I am looking forward to next year.
All right. And of course, the other part of next year is playing for the Philippines. The Southeast Asian Games will be held, has already been confirmed to be held again in Vietnam. And of course, the Asian Games will also be held next year. Now, if there is tennis, assuming that there is tennis, what is your position in terms of playing for the national team and participating in these tournaments?
Well, I'm looking forward to it so much, and I think it's everyone's dream to represent their country, and I think this is a bigger thing than just an individual sport. And representing the country means you're doing it for the Philippines, and it makes it so much more special.
And
I'm going to be a little naughty because, and I know the answer, but I just want to get it from you. But there have been many young people who have gone abroad, and of course, after a while, they have taken the citizenship of another country because of playing for another country and playing for where they trained. Is that even something that has been discussed by you and your family?
No, it really hasn't. It really hasn't. I think that's if it were to be even considered, it would be really down the road. I think, well, I wouldn't even know what that would be like. I can't even speak Spanish. Like, I don't know. I've always identified as a Filipina, so I don't plan on doing that anytime soon.
I think your grandfather and your and your Lola now will say, Alex, you cannot do that.
Yeah.
Anyway, as a final question, Alex, you are 16 and you are going to be 17. It's still not a voting age, huh? And yet you're probably a veteran. You can call yourself a veteran already in the tennis tour at this young age. Now that you have experienced all of that, is it all that you dreamed of? Is it all that you expected? Now that you're really living the life of a tennis pro?
Well, it's more than what I dreamed of, because not in a sense that it's super grand and super, it's in a sense that there's so much that you don't see that goes behind all these professional players, and I'm not even at that level yet. There's so much that it's more to what you see on the cameras. It's more to what you dream as a little girl.
Yan po mga kaibigan ng ating panayam kay Alex Eala, ang ating Philippine pride sa tennis. Maraming salamat nga pala sa Seawind Resort ng Boracay, where we actually recorded that interview last Monday. At nagpapasalamat tayo sa lahat ng staff din sa tulong nila. Again, Alex Eala confirming hindi siya lilipat kahit anong bansa, mga kapatid. Hindi po lilipat ang ating pinagmamalaking si Alex Eala. Pilipinang-Pilipina ang ating tennis player na si Alex. Maraming salamat sa interview niyan. Alright, bago tayo magtapos, gusto ko lang basahin ang mga ilang nagpadala ng kanilang komentary sa ating pinupulsuan ngayon. Who is the greatest PBA import of all time? Sabi ni J. Rafael Lapid, Icon Kenny Redfield and Chris King is two of the PBA reinforcements during the 90s. Ayan ang sinasabi niya. Matagal ko na hindi naririnig yung pangalan niya. Kenny Redfield and Chris King. Natatanda ko yan sa Ginebra. Yung si Chris King. Si ML Morales, Bobby Ray Parks Sr., G. Herrera Canseco, Billy Ray Bates, Leo La Rosa, Bobby Parks Sr., Ferdinand Oko, Billy Ray Bates. Naglalaban yung dalawa. Judy Ramones, Billy Ray Bates, and Justin Brownlee. Pumasok na. Honrubio Mel, Sean Chambers, and Lamont Strothers. Magagandang pangalan din yan. Anton Corpus, Bobby Parks, at mula naman kay Dabs Alvarez, si Justin, the winning shot, Brownlee. Marami pa po nagpadala pero medyo hindi na natin mababasa lahat yan. Again, marami po salamat sa lahat ng sumama sa ating programa at nakilahok, and of course lahat po ng sumubaybay. Paalala po muli ingat-ingat, bagamat alert level 2 na tayo, patuloy tayo mag-ingat at para hindi po na tayo bumalik sa ating dating pinanggalingan at tumaas pa ang mga kaso. O di paano, tapos na po muli ang isa na namang edisyon ng Power and Play. Marami po salamat sa inyo lahat at lagi po namin binibilin sa inyo tuwing Sabado, bawal ang masungit. And of course, sa lahat po ng ating gawain at Maiorem Dei Gloriam, all for the greater glory of God. Kami po ang 1PH Teleserbisyo para sa Pilipino. Happy Sports Weekend mga kapatid! More power, more play!